time. Manchester United's move for the Brentford forward, Bryan Mbeumo, that has now entered the final stages, we're told. It's understood Mbeumo's completed his medical and formalised the details on a long-term contract. Every expectation that all will be sorted in time for Bryan Mbeumo to be part of the squad that flies out to the United States on Tuesday. That's for the club's pre-season tour. Just a reminder of that deal, it's worth £71 million in total. United will pay an initial £65 million, that's in 4 instalments, plus £6 million in performance-related add-ons. And you touched on it before, those 5 players who potentially could leave. I think the priority for Manchester United now, I know the fans are asking about Mbeumo and trying to bring in a striker straight after. Right now, the priority for Manchester United is get the Bryan Mbeumo deal over the line, sort out the Marcus Rashford deal, and then sort out potential departures for the likes of Jadon Sancho, Alejandro Garnacho, Anthony, and, of course, Tyrell Malacia. So plenty to talk about with regard to Manchester United. Let's go from Manchester United now, though, Mark, to Liverpool. Is with Marcus Rashford's move from Manchester United to Barcelona. Mark, where are we with it?
I think Marcus Rashford will be one of the happiest men in the world right now because he's getting what he's described as a dream opportunity and a dream move to Barcelona, one of the Spanish giants. Now, the latest is he's currently travelling to Spain to formalise and complete the details and medical with regards to this move from Manchester United. What we understand is it's a loan with an option. We're not quite sure on the price yet, but when he went to Aston Villa last season, the option for Villa to convert that loan into a permanent transfer was £40 million. You'd imagine it'll be a similar sort of figure in this regard as well. Barcelona will cover Marcus Rashford's wages, which are believed to be in excess of £300,000 a week. One of the key things here, Dharmesh, is that Hansi Flick, the head coach of Barcelona, gave this move the green light. So when you've got a green light from the boss who wants a player to join, I think it says a lot about how they feel about Marcus Rashford. We've been speaking throughout the course of this summer about their desire to sign a left-sided winger/striker, which he is. We know that that list consisted of Nico Williams and Luis Diaz, but Marcus Rashford was on their list and he was a player very much on their radar. He's still got 2 years left on his contract at the end of this loan as well. So Manchester United is still very much in the driving seat with regards to Marcus Rashford's future. However, depending on how this season goes, will obviously have a big effect on what happens moving forward. I think the big thing here is we know that Marcus Rashford probably hasn't been in the happiest place. And he had that loan at Aston Villa where he shone in moments where you could see the type of qualities he had as a player. He said he wanted to play at the highest level. He said he wanted to carry on playing Champions League football. He's now got this dream. He did that interview with Expire, which is a huge YouTuber out in Spain, and said, look, it'd be my dream to play with Lamine Yamal. It would be my dream to play at Barcelona. Well, that dream is now coming true. Hopefully we'll see a happy Marcus Rashford on the pitch at the Nou Camp, and then hopefully he can start getting back to his very best.
Just picking up on what you said there with regard to Marcus Rashford's contract situation, that's key in this deal, isn't it? Because there was talk, do Manchester United want to perhaps make it an obligation to buy? But because he's still got 2 years left after this loan move expires, if Barcelona don't take up the option, they've still got that vital bit of breathing space, haven't they, to still get good money for Marcus Rashford if they decide to sell him next summer.
That's something Manchester United have been quite clever with a lot of the players they've sent out on loan. They've either got all of the wages covered and got a loan fee, or they've got some kind of incremental payment depending on performances. So Manchester United have done this with a lot of their players, and this will be very much the case with Marcus Rashford. You'd imagine that they could be in the driving seat this time next year, of course. If they get what is in the contract now, the option that Barcelona have to pay, they'll be satisfied. If he has a really successful loan spell over the course of the next year, his price could potentially go up if Barcelona decide not to activate that. And then in the European market, he could still have quite a hefty value because of his performances over the course of the next year. So it certainly feels like the right move for all parties. We know that there's been 5 Manchester United players that are all subject to the exit door at Old Trafford, Marcus Rashford being one of them and being the first one to depart the club. It feels like that noise and that unsavoury atmosphere that perhaps could have gone on for longer periods of time over the course of this summer will now dissipate, and he can start to focus on getting back to his very best.
Big incentive as well, and the reason why it probably works for all parties, this deal, is the fact that there's a World Cup at the end of the season. So Marcus Rashford, for his own future, needs to be playing football. Barcelona, what a stage to be playing your football. And if he plays well, he could get into the England squad. And if he plays well, it can only benefit Manchester United and Barcelona, financially from Manchester United's point of view, but footballing-wise from a Barcelona perspective.
It feels like there's no losers in this deal. It feels like a really positive move for Marcus Rashford, for Manchester United and for Barcelona. And he spoke of his desire to be involved in that World Cup squad in 2026. That's very much on his radar. At 27 years old, he's still, you know, just hitting his prime, really. So there's no reason why a really solid season won't mean he can't be in Thomas Tuchel's thinking for next year and the World Cup, which is very much on his agenda.
So Marcus Rashford's move to Barcelona edging closer.
It's taken a while, hasn't it, Manchester United fans? But this feels like a big step forward in the regeneration of the club. A confirmation, a reminder of the breaking news a few moments ago. Manchester United have now agreed a deal with Brentford to sign Bryan and Mbeumo, and that deal is worth £71 million. Now, it's a deal comprising of £65 million guaranteed, plus a potential £6 million in add-ons. Now, the fixed portion of that will be paid in 4 instalments. That'll help Manchester United's PSR. He's been a long-term target for United this summer. They've already signed Matheus Cunha from Wolves. And Mbeumo has been back at Brentford training this week as they got their pre-season preparations underway. But it looks like, provided there's no snags, he will be beginning the season as a United player. Let's have a look at his stats. He finished last season in the Premier League with 20 goals. And he ranked first for expected assists and crosses attempted. He was also in the top 3 for distance covered in sprints and matches. Feels like an Amorim player.